there was a change announced to the moratorium that was in place. So what are the changes? Let's discuss. Hey guys, how's it going? Will here. Hope you are all safe and sound at home. So like I said in the intro earlier, there was some changes pertaining to the moratorium, especially for the hired purchase loan, or also known as the car loan. So what has changed from the previous moratorium? If you have not watched the earlier video, please feel free to click the video in the card over here and compare the difference between the latest version and the previous one. So for the current version of the moratorium, interest may be charged to your hired purchase repayment, and this will start in 1st May 2020. This interest that may be imposed will be for the entire length of the 6-month moratorium, and due to this change, the banks will send you a notification by email or text or by phone call. In fact, my bank has already sent me a text message regarding this, so you can be sure that this is actually not a fake news. So for this revised moratorium, please check with your bank if you are required to opt in to this program. My bank, which is public bank, requires me to opt in, so if I do not take any action, that would automatically mean I am not taking this program. So what has changed? The main changes are you have two options to settle your repayment. Option 1 will be the no interest payment, which is you are opting in the moratorium program, but at the end of the moratorium, which is end of September, and when you enter the new month in October, you must pay your due payments for the past 6 months plus the 7th month payment, which is the October payment, in full. This is the only way you can take the moratorium and not be charged any interest at all. This is option 1. Option number 2, which is to take the moratorium, but you will absorb the additional interest imposed to you. That way you are actually taking a prorated interest rate for the 6 months and also extending your loan period for the same 6 months as well. So over here, I have a formula to calculate how much extra repayment that you are going to pay if you take option 2 for this moratorium. So over here, let's put it a scenario. Let's say you are paying 1,000 ringgit a month and your interest rate is at 3%. Your balance payment will be, let's say, 5 years, which is inclusive of the 0.5 years of the moratorium added. And your total repayment is 5 years in months, which is 60 months. So the total amount of interest divided across the entire balance length of your repayment will be 15 ringgit. So over the next 5 years, starting from October 2020, your extra repayment will be 15 ringgit every single month on top of your usual payment. The next thing to know is if you do not opt in for the moratorium, you are able to stagger or delay your payment for the month of April, May, and June. However, you must pay these 3 months in full by 30th June 2020 in order to avoid any additional interest or late payment charges. So now the question will be, compared to the previous version of moratorium, is it worth it to go for it? In my opinion, if you are driving, let's say, anything less than 70 or 80,000 ringgit. The additional monthly payment will be somewhere around the 10 to 30 ringgit extra. So if it's worth it to you to skip 6 months, but you have to pay the extra 10 plus or 20 ringgit down the line for the entire length of your loan, then by all means you can go for it. It is completely up to you to determine the worthiness of this moratorium. But if you are someone with no cash flow problem, well, you are still having your salary and your income, you might choose to opt in the moratorium. But for the option number one, which I've just mentioned, whereby you take 6 months of your car payment and invest it somewhere like FD or something, and then at the end of the 6 months, meaning the end of September, take out all of your funds and pay the amount you owe the bank in full. So this is the only way I see the moratorium being worth it if you have the funds. But other than that, this is a complete 180 from what we experienced earlier, which is quite shocking actually, because I believe most of the people who opt in for the earlier moratorium has already set aside the funds for something else already. So yeah, this is basically the gist of it, the revision of the hire purchase moratorium. So far, we have no news about the personal loan. So I think the personal loan will not be affected, but don't quote me on that. Maybe down the line, there will be another revision for that. But it is best to check with your bank as well. Since now we have a hire purchase revision, there might be a personal loan revision down the line as well. So hopefully you guys are notified of this change and take action accordingly. Once again, please check with your bank whether you should opt in for this moratorium if you decide to do so. Please share this with your family and friends. And if you like this video, feel free to hit the like button as it helps my channel out greatly. Subscribe and hit the notification bell as well for more future contents. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.